There we go. What did I do? Are we live? There we go. What did I do? Alright. Hello, everybody. My name is MJ Edwards here, and welcome to the Ramley. So, we were going to start last night, but it was really too late to be live. Then we were going to do it this morning, but then a bunch of stuff happened. So, we are live tonight. So, we have, for the past 2-3 days, we have a bunch of news. Today, yesterday, and the day before. So, we're gonna talk about that news. So, will the NFL be expanding to more games help the Raiders? Let's get into it. So, the Las Vegas Raiders are getting ready to start training camp later this month. They will be putting together their final preparations for the 2025 season. The Raiders are looking to bounce back from a disappointing season last year. The Raiders have made a lot of different changes in their franchise to make sure they have the best opportunity to be successful not only next season, but in the future. Next, we're just going to keep rolling, guys. We got tons of news. We've got, let's see here, probably 50 articles, maybe. Maybe less, maybe more. I don't know. But, okay, that we're not going to talk about. That one's a video, so that's not going to help. Nope, not that one. Construction on Shawnee Sports Complex Welcome Center. Nearly complete. So this is West Virginia. A $4 million project to improve guest experience at the new Shawnee Sports Complex is nearly finished. The new Welcome Center is designed to improve the experience for guests, referees, tournament directors, and athletic trainers during their visit. Kiowa County Commission President Ben Salingo said that the new Welcome Center is 4 times bigger than the old center. He said that people have to wait in long lines for both the concession stands and restrooms. With this previous setup, both of these issues have been addressed with the new center. Next. Okay, we can't. I want to talk about that, but we can't because it's a video. Can the Eagles repeat as champions once again? Comment down below. Browns get $600 million in state funds for Domes Stadium in Brook Park after DeWine approves budget. Let's see here. Levi's Stadium debuts 200 million renovation. It seems like Levi's Stadium just opened, but it's already old enough to be getting a 200 million renovation. The upgrades to the Santa Clara venue debuted on Wednesday will be with the hosting of the CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal between Mexico and Honduras. It'll be the first major sporting event since the changes to the venue. Levi Stadium has the largest outdoor 4K displays in the league. The facility also has a new ribbon boards and upgrading lighting. Part of that money also went to making the field meet FIFA's standards, included new drainage and ventilation systems. The renovation also will enhance experience for Super Bowl LX and second to be hosted there. Next. Here's how Salt Lake City wants to transform Smith's Ballpark. Salt Lake City, a plan to transform Smith's Ballpark into something new has Utah capital city swinging for the fences. A piece of the old ballpark will remain serving as a community venue space, adjacent to a portion of the field that will be converted into a multi-use area. The rest of the 31-year-old stadium and its parking lot to the north will be demolished to make way for a mix of housing, business space, parking, and community needs, according to the Ballpark Next community design plan that the Salt Lake City Community Reinvestment Agency made public on Tuesday. Next. Notre Dame football adds home game against Rice to 2026 schedule. South Bend, Indiana. The Notre Dame football team is gearing up for its 2025 season, which kicks off in less than 2 months. But today we're learning more about the team's 2026 schedule. Notre Dame will host Rice in week 2 of the season on Saturday, September 12th. It will be played the week after the Irish play Wisconsin at Lambeau Field, and the week before they host Michigan State. Notre Dame has played Rice 5 times before winning every matchup, and the last time was in 2014 when the Irish beat the Owls 48-17. Next. Browns unveil historic $2.4 billion stadium plans. So that will be posted on my Twitter page right now. It shows pictures and everything, so Alright, next. Kansas unveils field design for new football stadium. The pieces are coming together for the Kansas Jayhawks' new football stadium scheduled to open up next month for the 2025 season. On Thursday, KU revealed the highly anticipated look of the new Cavisto Field at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. The design, which was developed in partnership with Mammoth Construction, features the current Jayhawk logo at midfield block, Kansas lettering in bold both end zones, and the words Rock Chalk and Jayhawks shown in transparent block lettering on the opposing sidelines. The end zone also come with a unique transparent wheat design, paying homage to the Sunflower State and KU's long-lasting tradition of Jayhawk fans waving the wheat when the home team scores. Some members of this year's KU team had the chance to see the new design in a fun way by placing together the pieces of the puzzle, which displayed the look of the new field. Overall, the new Cavisto Field looks really clean and well designed. The end zones really pop, with the white lettering outlined in crimson against the blue-black drop, and the wheat design is a creative touch that should be a cool visual for fans attending games or watching on TV. Many fans were hoping to see the 1941 version of the Jayhawk logo, and also known as the Warhawk, at midfield, but Kansas Athletic Director Travis Goff said they decided to go with the current KU logo for consistency and brand recognition. Our primary mark reaches millions who tune in for broadcasts, said Goff in a post on X. There are many Tigers, Wildcats, Eagles, and Bulldogs, but only one Jayhawk. However, Goff did say in the post that the Warhawk will be prevalent throughout the new stadium when it's all said and done. With the new field design and the early photos of the stadium that have been shared on social media, the new KU football stadium should be a sight to behold come August 23rd when the Jayhawks kick off against Fresno State. Next. Khan's Steelers extension means Rams Les Snead is next. On Thursday, the Pittsburgh Steelers announced that after 2 seasons and 3 drafts, the team extended general manager Amar Khan. Signing him to a 3-year deal. I am excited to announce we have signed Omar to a new 3-year contract, said Steelers president Art Rooney II Armar and his team have done a great job over the past 3 years in constructing our roster through the NFL draft, strategic trades, and free agency. We look forward to continuing that trend that will lead to even more success on the field. Khan, who is in his 25th season with the Steelers, was hired as team's general manager in 2022. I would like to thank Art Rooney too for his support, said Khan. I believe we are building a championship roster and look forward to the 2025 season and beyond as our goals continue to be to bring another Super Bowl to the city of Pittsburgh and our great fans. This comes right after Khan engineered the trade for the former Rams quarterback Jalen Ramsey, acquiring Pro Bowler Jonnu Smith in the process while trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick, a player who was regressed in recent years. Khan's extension means Les Snead's extension is imminent. As he has 2 years remaining on the extension, he and Sean McVay signed after Super Bowl LVI. In the following years since the Super Bowl, Snead cleared millions in cap space, accelerating the Rams' rebuild, limiting their issues to one offseason after a poor 2022. His ability to draft playmakers outside the first round has fueled 2 NFC titles and the franchise second title. It's not known at this time if the Rams will wait until next offseason or complete an extension during the season, especially since, unlike Khan's contract, which is independent of Mike Tomlin's, Snead's, and McVay's deals, run concurrently, and no one wants to see them separate anytime soon. McVay himself has no intentions of leaving the Rams in the near future, and the Rams' 2025 roster may be their best ever, a testament to the work of Snead and his front office. Snead has also developed several high-level executives, included Detroit Lions GM Brad Holmes and Jaguars GM James Gladstone. It's expected that Snead and McVay will sign either record-breaking deals or a financial amount close to it. Next, Rams position battles. Let's not complicate the linebacker room. If there was one position Les Snead has struggled to equip with championship level talent, it's the off-ball linebackers. Snead has relied on day three at UDFA talent in the past, and while he has made bold moves, included drafting Alec Ogletree in the first round and signing Bobby Wagner in free agency, those moves didn't work out for various reasons. However, the tide may be turning as Pro Football Focus Jacob and Vontae stated that the linebacker room remains the Rams' most interesting position battle. The Los Angeles Rams struggled to find consistency at linebacker last season, wrote Infante, with former starter Christian Rosenboom now in Carolina. It figures to be a key position battle for them in training camp. Next, Sanford Stadium. Sanford Stadium set to host first concert in over a decade. For the first time in more than a decade, Sanford Stadium is getting ready to welcome back live music. The University of Georgia announced a target date for April 25th, 2026 for the first concert at the iconic stadium since 2013. It would be the kickoff to a new series of shows called Live Between the Hedges. UGA officials have not yet named a headliner, but the event is scheduled to take place between two major campus events, the annual G-Day football scrimmage and spring commencement. Georgia Athletic Director Josh Brooks said the return of concerts to Sanford Stadium has been in the works for years. The last show at the venue featured a lineup of country stars included Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Jake Owen, and Thomas Rhett. Organizers expect to announce more details, including the feature performer, at a later date. Next. Okay, we'll talk about Ohio State at the end. Okay, Van High School cancels 2025-26 football season. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not, but I'm gonna try my best.
News reporter Blake DeJarnett has more. The Van Bulldogs have fielded a football team every year since 1927, but now that nearly 100-year streak is coming to an end after head coach Mark Agassi determined that it is not safe to field teams with a roster size of just 13 players. Van Bulldogs have struggled with getting enough players for the football team for the past few years now. At the end of last season, there were only 18 players on the roster. They even had to forfeit their season opener against Meadow Bridge High School after 7 of those players got injured. Coach Agassi tells me that the school's athletic director called all 34 males at Van High School, trying to recruit them to the team, but only 13 said they would play, which Agassi says is not near enough to safely build a team.
You can't finish the season with 13 kids due to just injuries. I mean, so it will ultimately come down just to the fact of we don't have the numbers in the building to do it safely. So we come together and decided we would just pull it on this year and try to see what we can do for next year.
Coach Agassi said that the transfer portal rules are also partially to blame for the decrease in numbers. They've only had a couple of players transfer the past few seasons, but losing 2 to 3 players for the Van Bulldogs could be the difference between having a season and not. While there will be no high school football for Van this season, Coach Agassi tells me that he's hopeful enough freshmen will be willing to join the team next season so they'll be able to compete. The future of the Van Bulldogs football program is uncertain. Report from Van, Journett, 13 News.
Okay, there you go, guys. Next. Alright, so next. MLB's two worst teams play today. This was a day ago. The game is sold out. The 20-67 Colorado Rockies last in the National League host the 29 Chicago White Sox. For the start of 3-game series Friday. Good luck getting a seat. The Rockies are expecting a full house as the team continues to sell. Are you guys there? Check 1, 2, 3. Are you guys there? Okay. Check 1, 2, 3. Alright, the White Sox set the losses record last year with 121. If they want to shed that spot in history, a sweep would be a big help. But while Southside fans have largely stayed away this year, leaving the team 27th in average attendance, 16,612 fans per year above Miami, and two teams playing in minor league parks. Colorado has posted a league average of 29,501 fans per game. The 1993 expansion franchise hasn't posted a winning record since 2018, but it stayed in the top half in terms of attendance throughout that entire stretch, even if it has slipped out of the top 10. It seems that fans are coming more to the Coors than the field, hoping to enjoy an evening in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains as much as the Rockies playing below them. Located in the heart of downtown Denver, The stadium finished 7th in Sports Illustrated's preseason ranking of the best ballparks between Los Angeles Dodger Stadium and Baltimore's Camden Yards. Fans online have complimented the team's openness to outside food, while a rooftop patio serving $3 beers before the first pitch and priceless views all game long has been called the best bar in all of baseball. Rockies salespeople also benefit from Denver's weather, boosting an average number of summer Sundays on par with Miami and Los Angeles with fewer scorchers. Colorado is the 26th most valuable MLB team according to Sportico's valuations, and one of several clubs that have lost regional sports network partners in recent years. The Rockies entered the year with the 21 highest payroll at roughly $120 million, but the park remains a draw. There's no better place They still can't hear me, but it's lighting up now. There we go. We got it. Alright, it was in the wrong port, I guess. Alright, we're back. Jesus Christ. I need my equipment looked at. Anyways, we are back, guys. There was no sound pumping out, no nothing, but now it's back. So, let's get back to regular programming. So, Rams named as potential landing spot for 2 defensive free agents. CB Rascal Douglas, OLB Devion Clooney, and that's it. Next, New York Giants have Ole Miss quarterback wide receiver combo in camp with Jackson Dart and Juice Wells. The jump from college to the pros is a massive one, so every NFL rookie must utilize all advantages at their disposal in order to successfully make the leap. If you have a college teammate with you in camp, well, then you got a nice little thing working in your favor. It's an even better situation when you have a quarterback and wide receiver combination like wideout, Ant Wayne, Juice Wells, and signal caller Jackson Dart with the New York Giants. They developed chemistry together at the University of Mississippi last season, and now they look to bring that collegiate. Hold on just a second, guys. They collegiate. Here, let me finish this. And then I'll look at that. They collegiate. There's it. There it is. Alright, they collegiate that collegiate combination to the city that never sleeps. And while they have the Ole Miss experience in common, they came to the Giants with vastly different expectations being placed upon them. Stay. If you're watching right now, don't forget to subscribe. It'll be very much appreciated. Because that's how this channel grows. Alright, there we go. Let's see here. Where were we at? We're right here. Okay. Dart taken in the first round overall pick is the Giants quarterback of the future. Russell Wilson was signed this offseason to be their quarterback of the present. Wells, meanwhile, was signed as an undrafted free agent. Juice discussed the benefit that come with having Dart around as he makes his transition to the next level. It's like a sense of comfortability being around him. Wells said in an exclusive with RG. You are kind of at home a little bit. You can kind of relax a little bit. Things not as intense. You got that one friend from home. We can go out to get dinner sometimes, and we go just to kick it and just talk about our day. And it also helps learn the playbook because he wants to go through walkthroughs and stuff like that. And we're both learning at the same time, so it helps us out a lot. We're learning the plays together. We all in the hotel chilling, just laid back. It's nice. Wells emphasized what makes Dart such a top prospect in the NFL and why the Giants are so high on him. Dart brings a lot to the table, both from a tangible and intangible perspective. Of course, his strong arm, his ability to scramble around the pocket and make explosive plays, Juice articulated. His toughness to run through defenders and jump over people and all that type of stuff. But besides all that, he's just a great guy. He's really big on building relationships and his attitude. That's the definition of a guy that hates losing more than he loves to win. I promise you that. Juice has already signed an endorsement deal that includes an equity stake with naturally and obviously a Juice brand loom based just across the Hudson and New Jersey produce a juice with a vegan formula with policies with a rigorous nutrition standards that professional athletes have. And there's a lot, so we're not gonna. All right, next, because we've still got tons of more news. NFL analyst calls Rams. I don't know. Check 1 2 3. There we go. Now we're pumping sound. Alright. NFL analyst calls Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua the Gen Z version of legendary receivers. The Los Angeles Rams receiver Puka Nacua enters his third NFL season after 2 sensational years. He tallied 2,476 yards for 9 touchdowns on 184 receptions in just 28 games, and is already being named among the best receivers in the NFL at just 24 years old. Next. New design for Camping World Stadium comes into focus. The city of Orlando has published new architectural renderings for the proposed Camping World Stadium upgrades. The project, which has been years in the making, would upgrade the stadium's upper bowls and add an upper bowl. Okay, upper bowl, but okay. Upper bowl, stadium bowl. Wait, this makes no sense. Anyways, I'll read it to you. On the northern side and increasing seating to 65,000. Engineers say the additions will also need additional hurricane bracing, which they plan to incorporate into a new aesthetic for exterior of the building. Other upgrades include improved suites code updates and a retractable stage pocket, which designers say will help draw more in big musical acts. Camping World Stadium will be upgraded using Tourism Development Tax Money, or TDT. Orange County approved $400 million for the upgrades early last year. It's not clear if Camping World will retain the naming rights. The renderings show generic sponsorship signs. The project is expected to go before the Municipal Planning Board on August 19th. Okay. Okay, that looks nice. We'll post it on my YouTube or my Twitter page. Because it's all pictures and everything, same thing. Alright, next. Oh shoot, too many. Bengals Zach Taylor drags Joe Burrow down in quarterback coach NFL rankings. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is a top five player at his position. Bengals head coach Zach Taylor, however, is not a top 5 coach in the NFL right now. So says new rankings from Sports Illustrated. Matt Verdaham, which aims to list the best quarterback head coach duos in the NFL. Burrow and Taylor land just inside the top 10 at number 9 overall. The Bengals might not have much defense, but they employ a good coach and a top 5 quarterback, Burrow, the former number 1 pick, has his best season in 2024, throwing for best bet league bets with 4,918 yards and 43 touchdowns to help Cincinnati stay in the playoff contention until the final day, with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins signed long-term. Expect more fireworks for years to come. The problem, as one should expect, is Taylor. Burrow is 4th in his respective rankings, while Taylor is 16th. It's a fair assessment, at least, as the debate continues as to whether Taylor should be on the hot seat and just how much leash the coaching staff should have on the goodwill of the recent Super Bowl appearance. For now, the Bengals will be more happy than happy to charge forward with a tandem that lands in the top 10 alongside the likes of Kansas City, no matter how lopsided the scale. Next, ESPN says Pat Surtain's team-friendly contract is a bargain for Broncos. ESPN's Dan Graziano recently published a list of team-friendly and player-friendly NFL contracts, and Denver Broncos general manager George Paton will be pleased to have made the team-friendly section. The Broncos gave quarterbacks Pat Surtain a 4-year, $96 million contract in 2024, with 688, 565 fully guaranteed, and $77.5 million in total guarantees. More recent quarterback deals made that contract look like a bargain. For few months after PS2's deal, the Carolina Panthers gave J.C. Horn $100 million over 4 years, with $46.707 million fully guaranteed and $72 million in total guarantees. You could make the case that Surtain did his deal too early, or that Horn was smart to wait. But looking at the two deals next to each other makes you scratch your head. Graziano wrote for ESPN, the better player at the same position got $6 million less in total guarantees, and Surtain landed $11 million more in injury guarantees, but he has never been injured, and Horn has been a lot. Graziano noted that as the cornerback market continues to increase, the Broncos might eventually need to revisit Surtain's contract and give the reigning Defensive Player of the Year a raise for now. Their PS2's contract remains a bargain for Denver's front office. Next, Aikman's former quarterback, Cowboys quarterback coach, passes away. Geese. A former football coach whose time in the game spanned decades and helped superstars including Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman, has passed away. According to the Altoona, Pennsylvania Mirror, longtime coach Wayne Buddy Geis died on Wednesday. Geis was 79. From the paper, Geis, an Altoona native and 2010 inductee to Blair County Sports Hall of Fame, whose home was in Neptune Beach, Florida, passed away at the age of 79 on Wednesday morning after battling leukemia. Geese forged a 30-year career as a mentor in the college and the professional game. He made his mark in college at a number of stops, then coached in the USFL, and finally in 1988 made his move into the NFL. He started as a Green Bay Packers staffer, where he is credited with helping develop the stellar rookie Sterling Sharp, who became Sharp one of the best wide receivers of his era. Geis moved to the Indianapolis Colts after that, working with quarterback Jim Harbaugh. And in 1998, he joined the Dallas Cowboys staff under new head coach Chan Gailey. And over the next 3 years, with the final season working under head coach Dave Campo, he tutored, among others, the legendary and already Hall of Fame bound Aikman. Geis is served by his wife Jer, their son and daughter, and 7 grandchildren. Our thoughts are with Geis' family friends at this time. Next, we also have a tropical storm to talk about too, so there's a lot. We aren't even done yet, guys. There's so much. We were gonna do a part 1, part 2, but it's better to just build it all together in one live stream. So, but anyways, Bengals news: Joe Burrow on Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart buzz. The Cincinnati Bengals remain one of the hottest topics in the NFL despite it being the slowest point of the offseason. So it got when a franchise sits in a contract dispute with an all-pro defender like Trey Hendrickson and its own first-round pick. Shamar Stewart, it certainly doesn't hurt that star quarterback Joe Burrow is about to star on a Netflix show, too. Next, it's not even training camp, but the Chargers forgot how an offensive line works. Jim Harbaugh has done his best to right the ship in Los Angeles. And there are numerous franchises that would love to switch places with the Chargers headed into 2025. But there are also some things that feel oddly and hilariously familiar with this year's roster as Chiefs fans. We love to see it. The Chargers make an annual habit of making sure the offensive front remains a primary concern in front of Justin Herbert, and the coming season is no different. In fact, the Bolts are headed into training camp with the same lackluster interior OL that they featured in 2024, the one that already needed a considerable upgrade. To be specific, Zion Johnson has been such an underwhelming former first-round investment for the Chargers that they've already declined his fifth-year option, yet instead of going after help at left guard, the team decided to bring back Johnson again as an obvious starter. We're not sure how Jim Harbaugh is making such poor decisions, but we love it all the same. But wait, it gets worse. Bradley Boozman was already a poor option at center for LA in 2024, ranked 36th overall among NFL centers via Pro Football Focus. But the Chargers have brought him back as well for another season as the best option in the middle, except he's not in the middle. Here's where everything breaks down, at least than it already was before. Instead importing two new starters or even some decent competition, the Chargers have decided to try Johnson at center and Boozman at guard. The former has never once manned the center position at the pro level, while the latter hasn't played guard since his days in Baltimore in 2020. Basically, the Chargers have decided to fix their concerns along the offensive interior by having the two mediocre at best players switch positions with one another. Maybe two negatives will somehow equal a positive. We're not quite sure. For a franchise that finally has competent leadership at the helm, the inability to secure better players in the trenches feels like far more than a missed opportunity. But for those watching from rival fan bases, we certainly appreciate the decision-making process at work. Next. Okay, we already talked about that. Two former Rams make a notable list. I don't know. Okay, we'll skip that because it doesn't say. Hold on. Yeah. Bengals wide receiver Jermaine Burton gets another surprise breakout nod. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jermaine Burton was one of the surprise positive talking points around the team this spring. Burton showed up with a look and approach to the pro game, which he was more than open about during interviews. So, too, were big names like Joe Burrow. During the lull before training camp, ESPN's Ben Baby selected Burton as the Bengals' surprise player. This offseason, Burton has made all the right moves. He was attentive and engaged throughout the spring workouts. He earned praise from every person who was asked about him, included offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher. He's got a good look in his eye, Pitcher said. He's here putting the time in. Burton has the tools to become a big play opportunity in special situations. Considering Burton seemed like a guy who could be on the roster bubble this summer. After shockingly rough rookie campaign, he's rebounded nicely. Guaranteed we'll have to see how Burton does once training camp starts. But the talent was always there, which is why the Bengals were more than happy to gamble on him despite the red flags in the first place. Next, we're still not done yet. We got a ton more to talk about, guys. Because this is 3 days, so there's a ton. We're doing good though. We've got a big number of it down. So, well, anyways, let's continue. Well, a Miami Fire sale power another Rams title. Despite ridding themselves of former Rams quarterback Jalen Ramsey, the Miami Dolphins are set to have $12.8 million in cap space for the 2026 season, a number propped up by some ridiculously large caps hits, included hits of 50 plus million in boots Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, plus a $31 million hit by Bradley Chubb. Regardless of what Miami does with their coaching staff and front office, they need to free up cap space and utilize the draft next offseason in order to fill their roster. When the Rams won NFC titles in 2018 and 2021, the team made a mid-season trade to add an edge player to their defensive line. In 2018, it was Dante Fowler Jr. In 2021, it was Von Miller. In 2025, I think it might be Redlands, California native Jalen Phillips. If Phillips can remain healthy and find his 2023 form, he will be dealt he's on his 5th year option. The Dolphins cannot afford to extend him, and they have 2 top edge players in Chubb and 2024 first round pick Chop Robinson. Phillips costs nothing against Miami's cap, if traded, and Miami could use the draft picks acquired for him. Phillips fits perfectly within the Rams' finances and perhaps less usage. Something he may experience with the Rams would help his injury issues. He's also a free agent after this season, so the Rams would not have to make any long-term commitment to him. As mentioned earlier, he's a native of California and played for UCLA alongside Quentin Lake, as they were members of the same Bruins recruiting class. Phillips eventually left after being temporarily forced to medically retire and after an automobile accident. But that shows he wouldn't have an issue coming to Los Angeles. While the situation on the defensive line is different now than when the Rams made their moves in 2018 and 2021, depth is needed. Just look at how things turned out when Braden Fisk left the 2025 NFL Division round game against the Eagles injured. In 2023, Phillips played in 8 games before tearing his Achilles tendon on the turf of MetLife Stadium. In that time, he had 43 combined tackles and 6.5 sacks. Next. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford named to Bag Hall of Fame. The Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford may have to wait to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he is already on a media-made version for a particular reason. ESPN's Bill Barnwell created the Bag Hall of Fame to reward the players who did the best job of maximizing their leverage and getting paid for their ability. Barnwell clarified that this isn't a list of overpaid players either. Stafford was one of 8 players bestowed this honor, and his calling card is as the last of the great previous CBA quarterbacks. Barnwell explained that Stafford was among the highest paid rookie quarterbacks before the 2011 CBA instituted the rookie wage scale for picks, which significantly reduced contracts for top prospects. Taken with the first overall pick in 2009, Stafford's rookie deal was particularly eye-opening when he agreed to terms on a 6-year, $72 million deal with the Lions. The $41.7 million in guarantees was the largest figure for any player in league history, topping the $41 million defensive tackle Albert Haynesworth had been guaranteed by Washington early that offseason. You can understand why NFL owners didn't love the idea of guaranteeing an inexperienced unknown quantity like Stafford more than the experienced proven veteran Haynesworth. Barnwell went on to note how the Lions restructured Stafford's deal several times, as they had to consistently pay their top drafted rookies like Calvin Johnson and Dominican Sue exorbitant pre-2011 deals. Stafford signed 4 extensions through his career, from a relatively player-friendly extension, 3 years, $53 million deal in 2013, to a 5-year, $135 million contract in 2017. That made him the then highest paid player in league history to a 4-year, $160 million extension in 2022, following a trade to the Rams that ended in a Super Bowl that same year. However, Barnwell wrote that the 2025 offseason is what got Stafford over the hump as a bag Hall of Famer. Before the 2024 season, the Rams moved most of his guarantees forward by 1 year, having already earned more than $364 million in his career and $27 million in mostly unguaranteed money coming to the 2025 season. He decided the Rams needed to pay up for him return at age 37. Forget trying to play for a winner to eke out one more ring. He threatened leaving for one of the worst teams in the league, while downgrading his offensive coordinator and offensive line if the Rams weren't willing to give him a raise. That is Hall of Fame dedication to the bottom line. In the end, the Rams and Stafford found common ground. While Stafford didn't get a multi-year guarantee, he stuck around in Los Angeles for $40 million in 2025. Would he have really gone to play for the Giants? Some people would call that a bluff. Bag Hall of Famers would call that smart negotiating. Call it whatever you want. But Stafford and the Rams both got what they wanted in the end. The Rams have their franchise quarterback for at least 1 or 2 more seasons, while Stafford got his pay raise. We'll see if it works out for either side. Next. Puka Nacua's number change brings new accolade. The Los Angeles Rams have one of the most talented wide receivers in the league. And Puka Nacua, the veteran wide receiver, is expected to have a productive season as he steps into what should be the more evaluated role in the Rams offense. The return of the Matthew Stafford and the arrival of Devontae Adams could benefit Nacua. The departure of Cooper Kupp should lead to more targets and yards for Nacua this upcoming season as well. Cody Benjamin recently listed the best player in the National Football Year to wear numbers 0 and 99. Benjamin believes that by changing from number 17 to number 12, Nacua became the best player in the league with his respective jersey number. Matthew Stafford's favorite target and one of the most bruising possession receivers in the game. Nacua wore number 17 to start his career, but switched to number 12 to accommodate Devontae Adams this offseason, Benjamin said. Although Benjamin is correct that Nacua is arguably the best in the league to wear number 12, it is worth nothing that many players likely stay away from the number to avoid any comparison to arguably the greatest quarterback ever. This is especially true for quarterbacks who would be most likely to wear the number. Nacua himself also explained why he made the switch to the number 12, while Adams' arrival likely had to at least a little to do with it. Nacua said otherwise. According to Nacua, his reasoning of switching his jersey was family related. Kind of along the lines of wearing number 12. I've had the blessing of being able to watch my siblings compete. Watched my brothers play at the highest level in football and always be there to support me. Having watched my other siblings wear it, this is my opportunity to pay on the special number 12. The opportunity to put on the 1-2 meant a lot to me, Nacua said. Whenever I looked in the stands, I knew I could find one of my family members there. Whether it was one of my brothers or my mom being at every game possible. I know when I put on that number 12, it's a piece of armor as well. It's representing my family that is always protecting me. Next. We already talked about that. Bleacher Report named Saints as one of the top destinations for top free agent CB. The New Orleans Saints may not be done adding new players to the team before the opening day of training camp on July 23rd. Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski lists the Saints as one of the top contenders to sign quarterback Asante Samuel Jr., one of the best remaining free agents on the market. Next. Ram Stafford nominated to be... Okay, we already said that. I don't know why that's there. Breaking down the Steelers picks for... Breaking down the Steelers picks and new 3-round mock draft. First round quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, LSU. Second round CB AJ Harris, Penn State. Third round safety Dalton Brooks, Texas Tech. Next. Okay, we'll move on from that. This is what I think is special, and I had to talk about this. So listen up, everybody. NFL community unites around the Eagles Super Bowl champion battle a rare form of cancer. That's hardcore. Trust me. Anyways, no Philadelphia Eagles fan will forget where they were when Meek Mill's voice blasted through US Bank Stadium speakers. On a February night in 2018, Super Bowl LII saw the Eagles take the field after being introduced as the NFC's representative. Those watching on television saw a close-up of the dude with the long braid down to his belt. That was Brian Brahman. He was part of an Eagles team that helped deliver the City of Brotherly Love its first Vince Lombardi trophy. Years later, he's back cancer. Check 1, 2, 3. Alright, where was I at? Oh, here. Those watching on television saw a close-up of the dude with the long braid down to his belt. That was Brian Man. He was part of an Eagles team that helped deliver the City of Brotherly Love its first Vince Lombardi trophy. Years later, he's battling a rare form of cancer. He is also the recipient of an outpouring of love that has helped remind us again why we cheer for some of these guys. According to Brahman's GoFundMe page, one set up by his friend William Jones, the former Eagle underwent a CAR T cell reprogramming treatment program in Seattle. As of July 3rd, 32,000 had been raised. Brahman, a former 2011 undrafted rookie free agent, spent the first 3 years of the career with the Houston Texans. After that, he landed in Philadelphia for the first of 2 stints with the Birds. For years, built bonds and relationships in addition to J.J. Watt Check 1, 2, 3. There we go. Alright. Alright. Let's start over again. So, Bengals' biggest building block wouldn't shock fans with breakout 2025. The Cincinnati Bengals boost plenty of building blocks on the roster. When shuffling past big names like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, while thinking about some of the younger players, a few guys could be around for a long time. One is running back Chase Brown. The selection of Bleachers reports Mo Moton as Cincinnati's most promising building block. Brown won't be the focal point in a Burrow-led offense, but he can still be a key contributor because of his pass catching ability. Last season, he caught 54 passes for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns. In addition to the receiving numbers, Brown ran for 990 yards and 7 scores on a 4.3 average over 16 games last year. He also just 25 years old and will merely share some of the workload with either Samaje Perine or Zach Moss. The Bengals have encouraging building blocks to work around in 2025 and beyond. Right tackle Amarius Mims is one. They'd like to get more from first-round pass rushers Myles Murphy and Shamar Stewart, too. High-end prospects litter the quarterback room, too, but not have yet to pan out. Right now, through Brown is arguably the most surefire pick for the slot and looks ready for a huge 2025. Next. Okay, that's not gonna help. We just talked about that. Why is it? Well, Rams face turbulence in 2025. We'll read a little bit of it. We're trying to get through these fast. We'll be on here for 2 hours since 12 when it hits 12:30. So, the Los Angeles Rams, which is what we've been on here that long since probably early this year. I don't know, but right now let's get into it. So, the Los Angeles Rams have been big hopes for 2025, but USA Today's Nate Davis believes they should also prepare for turbulence. Next. MetLife Stadium named one of the NFL's 10 most iconic venues. Next. Opinion. Jared Goff hit his ceiling with the Rams. Goff won a lot with the Rams, an NFC title. Wait, we already did that. Bengals legendary draft picks makes best ever list. The Cincinnati Bengals don't often come up in national praise, although the tides continue to shift during the Joe Burrow era at least. There are some big expectations through, though. When it comes time to look at some of the biggest hits in franchise history, well, the Bengals have some best ever candidates. While running down the best drafted picks ever at every pick, ESPN's Ben Solak singled out the Bengals in the number 55 slot for a guy named Andrew Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth played 239 games over 16 seasons. Wow. And he needed all 16 of those seasons to get his ring with the Rams. Witt worked his way into a dominant back half of his career, making his first Pro Bowl at 31 and first All-Pro team at 34. The Bengals who drafted him will appreciate him for his 11 seasons of quality play, and the Rams enjoyed his strong sunset. Despite the messy exit from Cincinnati due to an epitude on the part of the Bengals at the time, Whitworth is one of the best players in franchise history, as all parties certainly deserve the nod here. Not far down the list from Whitworth, a guy named Ken Anderson is at number 67. A 16-year-old vet of the Bengals, Anderson, 1981 season, won him an MVP and took Cincinnati to its first ever Super Bowl. I strive to avoid overweighing quarterbacks in this exercise, but even without a personal value bump, Anderson still clears the value of Alvin Kamara, also taken at number 67 overall and one of the best third round picks ever. Not a bad duo when thinking about all the time Bengals picks in the top 100 of drafts. There's still plenty of time for some of the modern guys like Burrow, to start making their chase for much more competitive slots higher up the all-time order too. And then last we were going to talk about Ohio State. Last we are going to talk about Ohio State. So, and then we're going to talk about the tropical storm, and there's something else we needed to talk about, and then we'll be done. I promise. Okay? Okay. So, Ohio State has a valuable position in modern college football. UCLA football plays Ohio State later this season. ESPN looked at the Buckeye and their overall situation entering 2025. Star-powered despite losing a record-tying 14 player to the NFL draft, Ohio State might have the nation's best overall player and wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith, who will also play in 2026, and perhaps the best defender, and Caleb Downs, linebacker Sonny Styles, project as one of the nation's top linebackers, and transfers like Claire on offense at Atkinson on defense should make a big impact. Coaching staff day is a new man after winning his first national title, which validates so much of his success. He oversees one of the top personnel operations in the sport, although there are some renewed questions about his coordinator spots, with Brian Hartline returning as the primary OC and longtime NFL coach Mike Patricia coming into the defense. The big advantage Ohio State has in modern college football was revealed last season. The Buckeyes stumbled twice, but because of the 12-team college football playoff field, they still made the postseason tournament comfortably. Ohio State has real margin of error in the regular season. As long as the Buckeyes make the playoff, they will be a tough out with all their talent. Next, we are going to talk about the tropical storm. Don't overlook. Okay, it says this. Not the hurricane or the tropical storm though. It says don't overlook Panthers lineman to be Rams' next Rob Havenstein. Alright, so next we're going to talk about the tropical storm. Chantal, right now, so Saturday, July 5th, tropical storm conditions are expected in the warning area beginning soon and continuing through Sunday morning. Heavy rainfall across portions of North Carolina will cause flash flooding concerns through Monday, especially in urban areas. Chantal is expected to bring life-threatening surf and rip currents along the coast from northeastern Florida to the mid-Atlantic states during the next day or so. Beachgoers could heed the advice of lifeguards and local officials. So as of right now, its maximum sustained winds is 50 miles per hour. The pressure is 1004. Located 32 miles. Well, whatever. Movement north at 8 miles per hour. So it's a slow moving system. So oh no. We'll be right back, guys.
For your feet, Ram Nation. For your Colorado Madison Marching Rams. Welcome back to the halftime entertainment. Marching Rams, we appreciate it. I see you, my man, on the foot. One man on the foot keeps you going out there. Give it up for him. One more time, Marching Rams, everyone. One more time, Marching Rams.
Oh, shoot.
For our New York station WABC. And Danny, you're tracking both the flood emergency in Texas and the new tropical threat in the southeast.
Yeah, well, we have the updated track for Tropical Storm Chantal, but we'll start first with the rain in central Texas because heavy rain continues to fall near Austin. I know that's not what we want to hear. This does wrap up tonight with the flash flood watches expiring around 10 p.m. local time, but for now the flooding continues in parts of Travis County, Williamson County, and Burnett County. Now let's talk tropics as Tropical Storm Chantal.
Mom, can I have an underwater alien tea party birthday?
Crawls toward the coastline. Conditions will deteriorate tonight with landfall expected between about midnight and sunrise tomorrow morning. Heavy rain, gusty wind. We have tropical storm warnings in effect near the coast, including Myrtle Beach. Again, the heavy rain, 2 to 4 inches, can produce flash flooding. The gusty wind can cause problems as well. Continued to see the scattered showers and storms through Sunday morning in the Carolinas, but even as the remnants move inland with, rough surf and rip currents will continue to impact the southeast coast through the remainder of the holiday weekend.
Yeah, multiple threats we'll be watching. Danny Beckstrom, thank you. We appreciate it.
Alright, so there you have it. Oh, it's nice that it showed a video for me to show. Alright, so let's see here. What else? I think we covered everything. Because we talked about NFL, we talked about college, we talked about stadiums. I don't think I'm missing anything, guys. Are you? Don't you think? It's past 12:30, so 12:30 at night. '49ers' worst contract is abundant. '49ers' worst contract is abundantly clear ahead of training camp. Commanders fans look forward to training camp, new uniforms for upcoming season. And by the way, guys, you will see, I don't know if Gatorade will do it or not, but our Gatorade coolers are gonna turn green. We don't know if they can do it or not, but we want them green, black, and white to go with the stadium. The new Matandy Sportsplex, Lonnie Family Stadium. Me and the athletic trainer are trying to figure out how we can do that. Jugs and all. It's gonna be cool. There's gonna be a lot of things are gonna be changing. Like, it's gonna be interesting, fun. It's gonna be amazing. Alright, let's see. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think we are all caught up. A spoiled Verlander's anniversary thump Giants in rivalry first Sacramento game. Okay, that's cool. Okay, some high school. Wait, that's not ours, is it? No. I just saw that part. That's why I was like, wait. No, not Baden. I know that, but I thought it looked like Marymount's scoreboard. But it wasn't. So, but anyways, I'm going to read to you guys. Frontier High School unveils outdoor volleyball court ahead of historic fall matches. My question to them is, why would they put it on the football field? Here, I'll post this, guys, cuz this is very odd. It's cool though, but it's odd. Looks weird. Alright, guys, I think that's all we needed to talk about. I'm just finding stuff, and I know there's gonna be a bunch more tomorrow, I think. So, let's get into the forecast and then we'll head on out. Okay. Okay, so for Cincinnati. Hold on. Tonight, high of 92, low of 72 or actually Sunday. Storms, high of 92, low of 72. Monday, storms, high of 88, low of 70. Tuesday, rain, high of 88, low of 68. Wednesday, storms, high of 87, low of 68. Thursday, storms, high of 86, low of 67. Friday, storms, partly cloudy skies at times. High of 87, low of 67. Saturday, storms, high 86, low of 68. And then Dayton next. Dayton is partly cloudy, stray shower or thunderstorm, high of 92, low of 74. Monday, thunderstorms, high 85, low of 70. Wednesday, partly cloudy, high 86, low of 70. Wednesday, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. Stray shower or thunderstorm, high 85, low of 70. Thursday, thunderstorms, high 84, low of 70. Friday, rain, high 86, low of 71. And then Saturday, I almost said sour. Lord have mercy, it's late. Saturday, high of 85 thunderstorms, low of 69 on Saturday. I think that'll do it for this live stream, everybody. This has concluded our live stream. So, thank you guys for watching this live stream. Sorry it's so late. This is probably the latest live stream we've ever done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, please. And we shall see you guys in the next video or live stream. Thanks. Bye-bye.
I like it. this weekend on Saturday and Sunday.
Antidepressants may increase.
Change the past, change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop coming. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
constantly